Emotional intimacy. When you're in a connection with somebody, whether it's kind of a sacred union or even just any kind of romantic kind of relationship, there's this need for safety. There's a need for both parties, so we're talking two-person connection, both parties in that connection, in that relationship, to feel safe, right? And that all comes from the needs of the inner child. The more safe you both feel, so there's this need to understand that both talking divine masculine, divine feminine energies, the ones who are embodied in that frequency, right, they will both require a safe environment to truly be in the connection, right? I think someone's really understanding this better. I think that they might have thought that only they needed to be the safe space or something, but they're understanding that they also require that strength card. Okay, so I think that someone's gaining, and you have to understand that in order for you to be a safe, kind of create a safe environment or partake in creating that, right, because it's the two working together to do this, you have to have created that within you. Six of Cups as well. So there's definitely something about the inner child healing taking place now for somebody, okay? Or at least they're learning how to, I feel like they're learning how to pour into their inner child more. So I think a lot of kind of the wounds that they've been operating from were just to avoid kind of the inner child feeling fear. I think that they may have operated in timelines of that kind of, that fear, that ego based, for this reason with the King of Pentacles here. But it feels like this is somebody who, again, safety and stability is so important to them, but they've outsourced it into kind of in ways that might, in a 3D way, make sense. But now they're understanding that it's more than that. It's actually what's happening within, yeah. And I think it's come with losses. Five of Cups, with the loss of what was their safety, quote unquote, okay. Yeah, wow. This is someone who's very, I've heard, faced internal battles, wounded. I think they might have had maybe a difficult or and potentially unhealthy attachment or connection with their mother as well, and this is what fueled their connections moving forward. This was their template. So their inner divine feminine energy, if you will, wasn't in that divine energy. It was more of a guarded, wounded energy. Wow. Ace of Wands, King and Queen of Cups. Okay, this is interesting because what's the Queen of Swords is what they've transitioned away from. So whatever this is, they've had to, it's kind of like a loss as well at the same time. So it's kind of like they've had to grieve whatever this is that they've had to move away from. They've had to spend time understanding the obstacles that this connection, this very like a mother connection, had created within them and their connections moving forward. Because of course that's their template. Your mother and father are the templates for your inner divine feminine, inner divine masculine energies, your biological mother and father, okay? The Chariot energy here. We've got Virgo and Cancer energies coming through. So we've got Leo there as well, the Strength card. So there's definitely progress, I feel like, is currently taking place, right? Because this is something I've been stuck on for. I feel like they've been wanting to gain the, approval or validation from this wounded feminine energy. It's like, but there's nothing that they could ever do was going to be enough, because this is somebody who needs to heal their own stuff. And I think that they were almost like trying to fill that void, that gap that this feminine energy, wounded feminine energy had, but it wasn't theirs to fill. I think they're finally realizing this. It's kind of like, I've heard speed of lightning. It's like there's lots of information. They're understanding this now. Yeah. They've actually, it's like they've placed some kind of guards. Again, it could be that ego, but I feel like actual guards towards what it is that they truly wanted. It prevented them from going towards what they truly wanted, because it was preventing them from really standing in their own strength. Oh my God, this is someone who's really emotional loss, feeling lonely, lots of sadness. They might have actually felt really emotionally abandoned. And this is why they've always felt like they needed to, almost like play a certain role, or like continue to seek that, the like fill of that validation for it, or whatever it is, trying to seek that approval again and again. Nine of Cups has come out with the Queen of Cups here, which is beautiful. Okay, there's like too many cards. Oh, the lovers are at the bottom there. It feels like somebody's understanding their own internal shadows that they need to overcome in order to get to that space where they can actually receive that unconditional love and compassion from this Queen of Cups energy. Wow. Oof. 10 of Swords with that Queen of Swords. They're really working through a lot right now. And it's almost like they've got this, it's like this, inside them, there's this drive. They just want to they want to do this, they want to work on it, they want to really do this. For this new beginning, the Fool. Their eyes are set forward. They know what they want, but they're also understanding that they need to, I think they might be learning something as well, maybe study. Clearly learning a lot about themselves. So maybe they actually might have heard therapy maybe or something along those lines as well, okay? Understanding their own psychology is what I've heard there. But it's this 10 of Swords cycle that they're really, King of Wands, Knight of Wands is what came out, King of Wands at the bottom of the deck. I think that they're, whatever it is, whatever this unhealthy kind of attachment or connection was, that's being closed off, that has been kind of a permanent fixture, is what I've specifically heard, is what caused them to act in a very, again, there is that sacral energy, that it wasn't healthy, it was imbalanced. So they were acting on kind of seeking pleasures and highs, right? This is what they're kind of understanding better and releasing, it feels like. Or, even if it's not releasing, they kind of, I feel like they're transmuting something so that they can truly move forward in a way more focused and structured. I've heard specifically strategic way, which is interesting. So got the 10 of Wands there as well, that's come out with the Knight of Wands. Yeah, this is from a very young age. They've carried this, I feel like there might have been some kind of, they might have had some kind of abuse, is what I've heard specifically, that they've carried in their sacral center since they were a child, okay? Very heavy. It's been very heavy on them. I don't think they've addressed this, but they're having some kind of awakening here with the Judgment card, and really facing themselves. Yeah, they're facing it's like they're remembering the innocence of their inner child before they had to kind of carry the burdens that the inner child experienced, okay? 6 of Wands. Yeah, instead of finally looking outside, seeking external approval and validation, they're finally going within and recognizing that actually the true source of what they truly desire, their treasures of their heart, right, are within them. Just as I said that as well, the Ace of Cups. Yeah, and the High Priestess. So there's definitely something here that they want to truly begin new with. And I think they've been offered this divine opportunity to do so. And this is the time where they're actually seeing it. It's almost like they might have seeked it as well. Sought it. 9 of Swords. Maybe this is somebody who has trouble with words or something, speaking maybe. 9 of Swords. Wow. And the King of, you know what it is, when they enter this space of their heart space and just that loving energy, they're really, this is where their ego comes up. This is where it's like the internal battle comes to play, and this is what they're really it's almost like they're understanding how to change the record, or they're wanting to. This is where that learning's coming in. I'm seeing that smile now, cry later energy. So it's kind of behind closed doors. They've had all this emotion, but they've always avoided it as well. When I say avoid, they've just not they've had distractions. They've allowed themselves to pull on distractions. It's been the easier option, right? Because they weren't taught how to process, too many cards weren't taught how to process their emotions, growing up, even from society, is kind of what they ended up attracting, that same kind of frequency, justice. There's something about their karmic wheel specifically coming into balance. Really, the wheel, confirmation. That's literally justice and the wheel, exactly, karmic wheel coming into balance. Wow. And then the Judgment card again. Okay, this is does feel really big, but I don't think anyone knows this is happening. It's a very internal job right now, which is actually really beautiful, because then they're not falling back on those distractions that were too easy before. Okay, the World card. Wow, this is big. This is so I've heard soul retrieval, and obviously that's a whole different thing, but in this case, that message feels like they're reclaiming themselves, their power, their right. They're reclaiming they've entered that stage and that phase in their journey now where they're ready to come back to themselves. their soul. Okay, everything they've been through, it's all played a part, and they need to know that it's all played a part. That doesn't mean they need to carry their burdens moving forwards, right? And this is what they're releasing. They're saying, actually, I do. Yes, they find it really anxiety provoking and really nerve wracking to access that heart space, because it's so vulnerable, so vulnerable. You know, intimacy to them, they really do need that safety, but true safety, not just like this safety that's going to be thrown back in their face. Like if they, you know, that's not healthy. That's a very wounded place to operate from. If you're creating safety for someone, doesn't matter what happens in the connection, you ensure that you create that space, and the only way you can do that is by creating that within you. When you know your own internal safety, you will know your boundaries. You will respect other people's boundaries. You will know when you need to walk away if you do, but you will also respect there will be times when somebody else needs certain things too, right? So for them to express their truth, their vulnerability, I feel like a lot from when they were younger, then they're going to need that you're both going to need to have trust in each other. It's a two-way thing. It's too easy to think it's one way, okay? The star, again, that Aquarius energy as well. So I feel like this is someone who's very, might have a lot of quirks, very unique, an energy of being a little bit unorthodox, which is really interesting, because I'm also getting at the same time, this kind of energy of having very traditional values though. I think there might be someone who's quite a romantic. We've got Libra energy as well here. Okay, so let's just see. Let's have a look and see. This is definitely someone who's really struggled with their emotions. I mean, truly. Anytime they've even tried to access their emotions, it's been a lot of loss, but that's because it was so accumulated beneath the surface, right? Playfulness. That's their inner child. I think they've fallen back on that a lot though as well. Oh my God, especially with the people that were around them. It's made it too easy to I feel like they've been in that energy of kind of, you know, just like partying or whatever, just to, you know, you can party because you want to have fun, you want to enjoy yourself, and you're still embodied in your divinity. But then there's that other energy of just using it as a distraction tool, right? Taking things easy, including connections, casual, whatever that means, healing family issues, confirmation. There's something about forgiving. Oh my God, forgiving and letting. Yeah, something about forgiving their parents or whatever it is that happened when they were younger, and recognizing that they were the innocent, like, you know, there's an innocence to them. True love. Feels like this is somebody's divine counterpart energy coming through, and they're understanding, they're finally seeing the connection in the power of it. Maybe they understood and saw it and they felt it, but they're really recognizing how they have it within them to hold this power as well, you know, which is why I think that they're really wanting to do this. They're recognizing that they want to do it, but also, which is beautiful because they want to do it for themselves, but also that this is actually part of their purpose, you know. This is a love of lifetimes, okay? Keeping an open mind. Yeah, there's something about, it's different. It's not fulfilling templates that you might have been taught about. Retreat, disconnect from the world with this one. It's not going to look like, you know, I've heard specifically an Instagram image or something, which is interesting. So I don't know, maybe that's relevant. Maybe there's something about online behaviours. Separation. It's definitely a disconnect right now between the two of you, that's for sure. I feel like there's a physical distance as well, definitely. Someone's definitely, I feel like they are in retreat mode, or they're feeling it, at least internally. New love. They're preparing to be in a state of new love in themselves. Okay, honeymoon energies. Bliss. State of bliss. Allowing themselves to feel that state of bliss again, which will come, but it comes with truly addressing what's beneath the surface, right? And not just denying it or ignoring it so it just festers, because that's what happens. Things fester and then they bubble and, you know, the volcano erupts. Engagement, honeymoon and engagement. Okay, you deserve love, you are lovable. They're learning this. Heart-to-heart conversations. Yeah, I do feel like someone's almost like they're accessing a high level of commitment with themselves and their divine purpose. Attraction. They're learning how to kind of connect to like what brings them that energy of what they enjoy without the pulls and external energies, okay? And not being afraid of like showing up in that way. Past life relationship. again, confirmation that this is a divine connection, okay? Religious factors. So there could be something here about, especially with that upbringing that keeps coming up, there's something about a difference in kind of spiritual beliefs or religious beliefs, especially how someone's been brought up, which might have influenced the heavy kind of impact of the weight they were carrying, the burdens that truly they were probably taught to be quiet about or something, and that's why they never really processed it. The understanding this, your hard work is paying off, Capricorn energy. That's another thing, you know, you have to focus on you. You have to let people heal through their karma. You're not here to save them or fix them or anything like this. The only people you're here to help and serve are the people that are divinely aligned on your path. Okay, it's not the person that you're meant to be in a divine connection with. You to come together. Yeah, okay, you have your own versions of doing your purpose together and healing together, but you're not here to fix or save each other. You're here to show each other the light in your own ways. True. Prosperity lies ahead, Taurus energy. And you can be open to receiving that prosperity of the heart. And of the, you know, once that sacral energy is cleared through, nothing is yet set in stone. I've heard specifically, don't give up. Okay, so don't think that everything's stuck in this, like, this dark energies, when there's so much more that is happening beneath the surface. What do you need to release? If you feel stuck, or if you feel like some kind of negative wave wash over you, recognize it, step back, recognize it. Or even if you've had a reaction, just reflect, recognize, where was that coming from? Yeah, connect to that inner you. A personal issue reaches resolution. I think that's something that someone's going through right now. Something that is very personal to them. Yeah, your dreams need a practical plan. There's changes taking place. Someone's no longer just expecting some deity from above to come down and create some kind of miracle, right? Yes, miracles, divine miracles are always, your connection is a divine miracle. You know, look at the bigger picture. Yeah, it's time to kind of step back and recognize new romantic cycle begins. What the proactive steps are that need to be taken. I will say this, divine feminine energies here need to focus on their path and what they're being aligned with. Again, new romantic cycle, believe in the impossible. There's something about the more you hold on to faith, the more that you're connecting to your divine self and your divine purpose, the more this is actually helping your person. Your commitment is being tested. Bring love into the situation. Again, Aquarius energy coming through. You know, that love as well, love requires sometimes win-win outcome, okay? Big Libra energy as well. That love also does require that space, that time, that allowing each other to evolve into the versions that you're supposed to be, especially when you're focused on really allowing yourself to stay in that alignment. Which, again, it's like this, you know, it's a cyclic nature, especially for the divine feminine. This feels like someone who's had a lot of kind of hidden, secretive behaviours when it comes to their sexual energy, okay? And I think it's because of what they were taught growing up about this, or something along those lines, maybe whatever they went through as a child. But this is what's really blocked them off from receiving that love that they truly want, but also have just not seen themselves as worthy of because of all of this behind the scenes. Okay, they're gathering strength with this energy healing work. They're clearing through this energy right now. That's really important. I feel like they're, I've heard deep dive. I think they've been through a deep dive actually. But I think that right now they're seeing it on a more practical level, not just that internal soul. You know what I mean? They're seeing things for what they are in their reality. God is in charge, okay? So there's definitely kind of divine intervention, and someone's connecting more to that as well. Especially with religious factors. I think they're detaching from the new beginnings and fresh start. They're detaching from kind of any kind of dogma they were taught. That's birds come through specifically. So any kind of ways they need to, you know, believe in God or whatever. Instead, they're listening to their own truth now, what's happening within, which I think is specific for this energy, which is really interesting. Interesting specific message, okay? A favourable outcome. I think that's important for somebody. I think whatever they're doing now, it's so important for their soul journey, not even anyone or anything else. It's very connected to this connection, I will say, but right now, this is their way of allowing themselves to decide to be happy now, no longer hiding their truth, because they're facing it. They're understanding how it was continued to be hid beneath wherever this was. That was a permanent fixture, it felt like, as well, you know, that ended up being that Ten of Swords. I I think that they always searched for love in places where clearly it was just going to end in pain, because they weren't actually seeing they were worthy of love anyway. So they weren't actually searching for that true divine unconditional love. They were searching for more ways in which they need to seek approval or validation or whatever it is. Okay, your home is protected by angels. It's time to leave this unhealthy situation. That's literally what I've just been saying. Okay, it's time to leave that unhealthy situation. That's what they're doing, because it's just hurting them wherever it has been. They're moving forwards now, you can see this, but they're trying to clear through this, bring balance, shield yourself. Protection work is really important for them. Being very mindful, even if it genuinely is just being mindful of who and what is around in your surroundings, because whatever they're leaving, that unhealthy situation has really had an impact on their energy field and everything that they have been drawing in and connecting to. Okay, romance angels are helping you. And remember, you know, energy imprints are real, and so are the forces around you. This is why it's so important to clear and cleanse, so you're mindful, including your mind, how you're thinking. You know, that's where that kind of inner light for you to work through those shadows. So it's not false light, it's genuinely, you know, your shadows, right? You can truly pour that light into them without trying to avoid them and like false light, you know, toxic positivity or whatever. Honor and trust your feelings. So someone's really been blocked off from this, and I think that they've been scared. Confirmation, they've been scared about whether or not their feelings are real, how much they're going to be reciprocated, or even just, it doesn't even matter what anyone else thinks. This is how they feel. They need to recognize this is their truth. Okay, innocence. Confirmation of what I was saying before, it's about connecting, go forward fearlessly to that innocence within again, the innocence of that inner child, so you can truly recognize what it is that you want and what you're being called towards more than anything. So I think it's that inner children that truly know all along. They know our purpose, they know what we need to do, but it's everything that happens along the way, along that journey, where those guards and shields start coming up, you know, to protect yourself, or whatever you're taught, perceptions, conditioning, all of it. Write about your thoughts and feelings. I've heard specifically there somebody might wherever this is, it might be something that they're going to speak on in the future. Now, I'm not talking about like the connection, I'm talking specifically about what they've been through. It's going to be something that other people might need to hear moving forwards. So it's important for them to maybe keep some kind of writing about this, journals, even if it's them going back. It's a really beautiful way of expressing, okay? Really releasing the emotions, especially if they've had trouble doing that before. It's a beautiful way to do that, okay? Release the burden, just stay in your alignment, stay in your light, stay on your purpose. And you know, it's really important to check those shadows when they come through, the trigger points. Yeah, because it all comes back to that inner child who's asking you for your emotional safety first and foremost. There's also this energy of not taking for granted what you know is already yours. Okay, so this connection specifically, yes, it's that divine connection, it's that true love, but how are you becoming that person? How are you taking the required actions in your own reality to find your alignment? Okay, because there's something about acting like as if it was brand new, right? Yes, you've had past lives together, and you know it's, the attraction is there, but how are you actually allowing this to come into fruition in the reality now? That's so important here for somebody, and not to take it for granted. Okay, it's important, specific message. Okay, remember, protect it. Okay, be careful who you're speaking to. Okay, let me know if this message was for you. Sending love.